Hello, hello. Is that you, RJ?
Yeah.
Are you now a female with a earring?
Redhead. I don't know. It shows me as a redhead.
Yeah.
I
All
don't know how
right.
to change this. Me.
I don't think you can actually.
No, you could put your name on it, right?
Yeah, you can. When you click on
Settings,
yourself.
profile. There we go. Got it.
All right. Cool. I don't think anyone's really joining us, so I guess we can do this very quickly and kind of skip the important part.
Sounds good.
So I was looking at the Google Analytics that Satya wrote. I think I can fix that. There's just two small errors that I'm going to do. I've tried the donation aggregation, tested it. It works pretty much. Yeah, it works. There's some problem where actually sometimes the donations are doubled, but I don't know how much that's my problem and how much that's a general problem. You've actually been looking into the beta one, right? Where it doubled some.
Yeah, for some reason those events don't show up in like for I don't know why, but the events just never appeared, which is weird. And then there was the bug with the failed transaction thing.
Okay.
Update. So I'm fixing the failed transaction thing right now. I don't know why there's a bunch of connection errors in the feathers.
I've seen those. What do they mean?
So it basically means that it can't connect to the Rinkeby node for some reason. And so I'm trying to play around with reconnection logic a little bit to see. I don't know, that hasn't changed recently, so I'm not sure why it would just all of a sudden stop working. I did notice on the Rinkeby logs, it was returning a 302, but I couldn't actually get the response, the actual response that was logged wasn't returned, so I'm not sure why it all of a sudden started redirecting. But it seemed to be Geth itself that was redirecting. So I restarted Geth and I restarted Feathers, and that seemed to get rid of the connection logs. But then it's still kind of I'm not sure why it was happening.
Right. Are we still using the Giveth node, or are we using Infura?
No, we're using the Giveth one.
Okay, because I think that in the Sajas one, we're using the Infura one already.
Well, we use the Infura in the DApp well, we don't have a Ropsten one, so we're using Infura for Ropsten.
Okay, that explains. Okay.
Because there's not a lot that we it's just for test environments, and there's not a lot running on it, so no sense keeping our own node.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's exactly that. One thing that I would like to talk to you a little bit is this roles management.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to, as soon as possible, kind of add a governance system, or very stupid one, where basically the whole, the campaign behaves like a multisig. Do you think that's worth pursuing? Because what I want to do is, at least for the DApp campaign, to be able to, for 2 people out of 3 to actually fund. So you would have a confirmation, 2 out of 3 transactions.
Right. Yeah, I guess there's 2 ways to go about that, right? One is to use an existing multisig, and that's the manager of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
The other way is to write the campaign plugin as a multisig itself.
Which one, in your opinion, makes more sense, and does it even make sense to talk about it now?
Yeah, I think we could do it soon. Yeah, maybe just briefly touch on it, not go too much in depth. And then regarding which one makes sense, if we enabled multisig support in the UI, like that's the most flexible, right? Because you can we can use multisigs for DApps as well, and not just the campaigns. Whereas if we did it in the campaign itself, then we would need to, and you can use it for reviewers and everything. Versus if we did it in the campaign itself, you need to like update each of those milestones would have to be updated.
Right. So those would be like Gnosis multisigs.
Yeah. And especially like because we're on Rinkeby, like gas isn't that much of a concern. Like we might as well use the Gnosis multisig. Yeah. And then like have some type of generic
UI. Yeah.
UI component that basically, if it's a DAC, all those actions, like we just pass the actions. Like I think you and Jordy have talked about this like 6 months, 8 months, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the first times I was in Barcelona, we were kind of talking about this. But yeah, just a generic UI, a multi-sig like action button where you could pass in the available actions and they could select it and it executes it against the multi-sig.
Okay. And that would have to construct the data and everything. Well, okay. Yeah. How do you execute a call from a multisig? Is that difficult to do?
No, it's just so like the first person will have to submit the transaction, which is, it takes like, I think it's 2 or 3 parameters, probably 3. The first one is like the destination. So like that would be liquid pledging or the campaign, probably, well, in the specific case of a campaign, the destination would be the plugin address for the campaign. And then the value would be 0 because we're not transferring any money. And then then you pass the bytes data, which is just the encoded function call that it's like basically, yeah, whatever you encode the function call on the campaign that you want to execute.
Okay, and Web3 provides support for this encoding.
Yeah, it's simple. If you like we do it already in what is it? The donate button. Like when we forward to Mu, we encode the donate function data. So it's just like, it's pretty simple. It's just a method call. So like each contract, you have to so like we have like a wrapper around the Web3 contract instances. So you have to access the underlying contract instance, and then it's like .methods, and then whatever the function call you want, you pass the parameters, and then you say .encode ABI, and that's another function call, and that'll like generate your bytes data.
Okay. Okay, I will not do anything like that now, but the reason why this came to my mind is because I'm realizing I'm going to Burning Man. And, you know, for the time being, you will not be able to basically use any of the funds. I don't assume that there will be a need for that, but you know.
Oh, because you're the campaign manager or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and in general, it sounds like a really bad idea. Just have one person. What if, you know, a plane with me falls down from the sky? I don't know, but.
Well, we could always cancel your campaign, but yeah, no, I think a multi-sig is definitely much better.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I have this donation aggregation button first, and the testing data first, and I want to do a bunch of UI stuff. So I guess maybe that's something we can also talk about, because I know that you're frustrated with some of the UI. Do you have some priorities / preferences yourself that is horribly done right now?
Not particularly. I've been trying, like, things that have been annoying me, I've been like just fixing every once in a while. But I haven't used the UI much in the last 3 weeks, so I can't say anything off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I think we did make a list at one point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically here. Some of it is here. I've done actually most of that. So I've already erased 3 points, additional 3 points. This I'm not so sure, but you know, that's an easy thing to do. Then there's the withdraw button stays active. Is that still the case?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's like the disperse button, but yeah, it doesn't disappear. Or as a couple days ago.
That should be super simple as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because okay.
There was also the donate stuff when we were in Switzerland. I don't think you ever got to that. That like donate modal could definitely use some help. Like saying like, oh, the current this donation will be under the name of like the current user address that's logged in.
I've done that.
Oh, you have done it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
Cool.
I've also added limits for milestones, and yeah, so everywhere in the DApp right now, when you're delegating or donating money to a milestone, it limits you to the max amount of the milestone.
Okay. Makes sense. And it'll give us less of those like split donations that are kind of annoying.
Well, the split donations are still there because there's some precision issues. We have a few components that can't take precision that well.
Okay. So then we have a bunch of like donations with 0.000 in the UI.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also something on my to-do list, kind of looking at that and maybe writing, it's the slider to be precise. Just taking the slider, taking the code and just implementing it myself with big numbers.
Okay. Oh, because you use some library that doesn't support.
Yeah, and it needs numbers as numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this donate pop-up thing right now.
So when you're not logged in right now, it tells you that you're not logged in.
Yeah, if you want to maintain control of your donation, please sign in or register.
Yeah.
That should be good enough. And then when you are logged in, it says the...
It says, I guess nothing really.
Okay, so it doesn't say, we definitely need to add like, this will be donated under your logged in address or whatever you're... Okay.
Yeah, and we can show which address that is as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like, oh, you are logged in, this donation will be under such and such. And then maybe like just like a change button where they could change it and donate as whoever.
Oh, okay.
Might be nice.
That out. Oh, so like a text field in which they can put any address.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just a text field. Okay. But that's like just like kind of like an advanced option or whatever, right? Like not.
Yeah. Yeah. It will not be displayed by default.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like donated someone else. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I actually had a few more things now that I look at it. In Feathers, there's this one pull request. Did you say that you were going to look at it? It's the transaction. Wait, added a transaction collection and expanded on information for transaction.
Oh, that transaction component thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to do with it because it's kind of useless to merge right now until like more work is added.
Okay. Well, that's fine as well. I mean, if you're saying
yeah,
this is the case.
I think basically it was like, I think they were getting sick of working on it, and I was sick of helping them on it because it was like it's not that much work to just do what they were trying to do. So I was like, oh, just make a PR and I'll finish do the final touches, and it's on my radar. It just hasn't been done yet.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know where we stand on that one.
Yeah.
Cool, because as another thing that I'm trying to do, or that I have in my mind, is really doing your wallet page, which I guess should show the MetaMask info, right? So the MetaMask balance.
I don't know. Like, should it? Or because I mean, that's like you could see it in MetaMask yourself if you want. I guess it could.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sold on that. Like, you think it should, like, what's the advantage? Like, why should we show the MetaMask info there? Because we don't support it in the DApp. Besides, like, there's only one case where we support MetaMask right now.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. There's a bunch of other higher priority things. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the transactions is part of that, right? Like, we wanted to show the list of transactions in the wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else? I guess, like, where should we show, so like the authorized payment thing that's on my to-do, where do we want to display that? In the wallet as well?
So
I guess it makes sense.
The authorized payment from the bridge.
Yeah, so like this is like, but that's, the authorized payments from the bridge. But it's interesting because the wallet to me represents, like, you should see info for that specific address. But like, oftentimes when I create, like, the recipient of a milestone is an address that's not even going to be registered in Feathers.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I always do it to my MetaMask wallet, but I've never used MetaMask wallet on Feathers. So,
right.
Like, where do we display that information?
Does it make sense to display it on the milestone itself, kind of adding another state?
Yeah, we could do that. Let me look at
the same time, I kind of want to also say that maybe this is not a highest priority as well, because right now Bowen is doing that. I don't think we can expect he's doing that like once a day for everyone, or once every 2 days. I don't expect that being super expensive.
No, I don't think necessarily like allowing people to collect it themselves, but I think, like, it's a little weird when your milestone gets marked as paid, but you haven't received money for 2 days. So like,
oh, okay, yeah. In that sense, sure, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So maybe it should show up in the like my milestones page?
Yes, I think it should be. Yeah, the milestones should not go into the paid until they're actually really paid from the bridge. So they
Right.
should
Oh,
be
don't mark
like,
them. So make them pending or something, like pending or
yeah,
paying.
like,
I think we used to have a paying status.
yeah, something like that. With maybe
Um,
some like timeout from the bridge, right? But that's actually integration of the bridge into the DApp, which I'm not so sure we should do.
right. So just like leave it as paying and not, but we still would have to listen to that thing.
Okay, maybe we can add this coupling here.
Yeah, I think it has to. I mean, it's so built around a bridge system. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had to add it the other day for some reason to feathers. Well, and it's already added to the DApp because you can only donate through the bridge, right? So it's already coupled.
Right. Sure. Okay. When this potential new bridge is going to appear, would these actions be simple to remap?
They should be the same. Except for this authorized payments. Well, yeah, even this authorized payments, really like it should all be the exact same. The difference is the part that actually does the relaying is not our code and would be like a more generalized code. But the way I see it happening is like, or we use essentially the same contracts as a proxy to this like arbitrary message bridge.
Okay, so in theory, you just plug in a different address and that's it.
Yeah, in theory, as long as like the bridge is designed how I'm imagining it, and there's no like serious issues with it, with like that design.
Yeah. Okay. Right, and one big question I have, how's the decentralization kind of going? Are you still actively pursuing that one?
Like regarding IPFS and stuff like that?
Regarding IPFS and trying to create feathers running on DAppNode.
Yeah. So
that they can be run on DAppNode.
So anybody could run it, right? Yeah. That's still like my main priority, I guess. I think I'm about ready to. Well, I guess before that to do was like the authorized payments, at least like showing that. But that should be pretty simple. I think I could get that done today. And then, then the next thing, I guess, would be implementing IPFS support.
Okay, because what I have in mind is if we could have before DEF CON, that would be super cool.
If we could have, sorry, you cut out. Have what before DEF CON?
Kind of decentralization for the feathers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Because then it becomes very interesting to talk about that.
Right, and I think that should be no problem. I mean, I don't think it'll take too long. Yeah, I think I could do it a week or something. Not that much work.
You think so, but then Edu has been working on IPFS for 6 months and.
Well, right. So like, there's the whole like, I guess there's like the consortium issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Are you in contact with what's his name, with Flurkle?
Not recently. But I think they got it up and running, didn't they?
Yeah, they have the same problem, right? So they already have IPFS in. And they're also trying to make this very decentralized, and they really need consortium, and that's something they're building. So
But haven't they built it? They just don't have anybody that's participating in it?
I don't think it's fully built yet.
Okay. I thought it was. I'll have to talk to Edu and Spawnnet and see what's up.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess the other thing is like IPFS is interesting to me. Like, I don't know. Like, I almost feel like Swarm makes more sense to integrate than IPFS, but I don't know how Swarm handles that same issue either. I'll look into that stuff this week or
much more as well. Just as an idea.
What was that?
I like Swarm much more than IPFS.
Oh.
Like technical description that I have.
Right.
Right. Because
yeah, I guess the question with Swarm though is like, I mean, I know they're on like their third proof of concept, but how stable is it?
Yeah.
IPFS has been around longer.
I think we can kind of quickly get in contact there, because this guy Jacek that was in Cardona is working on that as well. So if not him, then for sure he can link us to someone relevant.
Right.
Yeah, I actually like Swarm much more because it really shatters the files across multiple endpoints.
Right. But I'm not sure, like, how do you guarantee persistence of those? Like, how, like, so IPFS, you have to pin it, but I don't know how Swarm, I need to look into research it a little bit and see how Swarm handles that.
The way I imagine this is like probabilities, which is something that they also were solving at CERN. So at CERN, they have so much data that even if they're storing everything in 3 redundant copies, ultimately they're going to lose, like, I don't know, 1% of that every year. Because like the probability of failing, of several, drives failing that store all of that is, there's some.
Interesting.
Let's say. And
right.
We're talking about petabytes and petabytes.
Right.
So I would imagine that something like that is applied in the Swarm, where you do store it redundantly until a certain probability, and the probability is, for example, that you store it in 5 copies, and you say that it's very unlikely that all 5 copies will go offline within 1 week, and every 1 week you kind of do redistribution or something like that.
Right, but you have to pay, like, there's no, I mean, they're working on the incentive mechanism, but like right now there is no like payment. Right? And that's like the whole thing with IPFS. Like, I'm not going to store your data for free, essentially. I'll store the stuff that I want to store, but like the stuff I access, I'll keep, but it doesn't keep everything. And so you have to like explicitly pin it right now. And then, I don't know, it seems like a funny solution.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll do some research and see.
All right, that would be super interesting if you could also then share that research.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I don't think so. There was 2, and there's, I'm just looking at what you sent me. So there's the incorrect donations count. That's interesting. Yeah. How much was it off by?
So it just didn't count one of the donations.
Oh, it just missed it.
It just missed it.
And you manually fixed it?
I actually don't even know.
Because was one of those donations pending? That's something that we don't show. Some of these, like when it lists the donations there, it should show like a twirly thing if it's pending, but it doesn't.
Potentially. Okay, and that's something I can fix.
Yeah, I added like a donation to like the donation model in the DApp. There's like an is pending method, but it doesn't work because these donations aren't like, they're just raw objects from feathers.
Right. Okay. And there's like missing who donated it and all sorts of stuff. So
right.
You can fix.
I had like I have something stashed that was fixing it, but then I never committed it. But it was just like kind of a hacky fix. Duplicating that donation function and passing in the donation itself instead of putting it on the donation class. But that should be, yeah. I mean, ideally, we should always use those donation models, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll just let you fix it then. But I can probably guarantee that's why the donation count was off.
Yeah.
It's highly likely.
It didn't occur to me to check that, but it sounds about right.
Yeah, because we query for mind equals true. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a UI thing, I guess. Another UI thing, and then I won't worry about the counter should be correct still, because we don't want to count them until they're mined. Okay.
Yeah, cool. It's one of the ones that are still being mined.
Right.
Or mined as false. Yeah.
Okay. And then so the two pressing things for me are that mined equals false issue and and I'm curious why, like, you have my donation, or you're like
your milestone.
My milestone, right? And it's also not in the correct state, so I need to look into that today.
Yeah, I think it's one of the first milestones that we kind of did together in Switzerland to test something, and I think it's the one where when I made an action, it actually made me the milestone manager.
Right, but when we reprocess it, it should have been fixed. Well, yeah, I know it was showing up for me for a while, and then all of a sudden it showed up for you, and that's like, I need to figure out why it changed. And then the second part is, I know why the state changed, why it shows this like that you can withdraw, but even though it's already been paid. But I thought I fixed that. So I just need to see if that code's in develop or master branch. And yeah.
Okay.
I guess just do some investigation. But I have some good starting points.
All right, perfect. Well, if that's it, RJ, then thanks for the meeting.
Yeah, I think that's all.
All right.
All right. Have a good evening. Bye.
You too.